we just talk? Can we just talk about where we're going before we... Well, hello again, fellow interviewers. Welcome to another PracTeachioner micro-learning session. Today, I'd like to introduce you to what we call the teach to talk. I found that many investigators don't understand the amount of detail required during an interview, and I mention this because if investigators don't appreciate what the word detail means, why should I expect a witness to grasp the concept? This is why it is often helpful to do more than repeatedly tell them, I want more detail, as they say in the counseling world. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. If the witness doesn't know what detail means, spell it out and clear up any misunderstanding. One of the ways to do this is by telling a story from your life. Give it first in a way that lacks detail and follow it with an account that includes fine-grained detail about, for example, people, locations, actions and conversations, times and objects. The acronym is Plato, as well as senses, thoughts or feelings that might help them to mentally reinstate the context of the episode they are about to speak to. End the lesson by requesting that the witness tell you in the level of detail presented in the second example. Now, here is an example from a real virtual interview that shows the entire teach to talk process. The only other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to do what I call a teach to talk. And what that is I'm going to, because it doesn't matter who I talk to, lawyers, police officers, quite often the word detail means different things to many of us. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by the detail that I want. And it might get a little silly, but I'll try not to bore you to death here. I'm going to give you an example of my morning, a short little time spot there. One version, the first version will be no detail. And then the second version will be the detail that I would want from you. So it goes like this. Here's the no detail. My alarm went off. My alarm is named Diana. She is my better half. And she got up at 5 in the morning to go to work. I slept in then for a while, but I just can't stop this cough, so I couldn't fall asleep to my chagrin. So I set the alarm for a couple of hours down the road, but just hacked away until I finally said, I got to get out of bed. I went immediately downstairs and I made a coffee, and it's in the same cup here. I made that and then I drank it, and then I started preparing for this interview. That's the short version. Here's the long version. Diana woke up, and she has a bit of a hack as well. I think I probably gave it to her because I love her so much. So she went into the bathroom. I could hear her coughing, the poor thing. She had her shower. She came out. She tries not to wake me by turning the lights on, but it's really hard. And again, I was hacking and coughing. Because she thinks she's going to get my cold again, is trying to stay about 4 or 5 feet away from me at any time. So she sort of did a glance by and said, bye, see you later, I'm going to work. When I did come downstairs, I went up to the coffee machine, and it's one of those Keurig machines. It's one of the most beautiful inventions around. It's like better than DNA for me. So it's a black machine with a silver top, and in order to work it, I have to open up a reservoir lid, and then I take my cup, I fill it with enough water, I pour it inside. Now, because Diana had used it this morning, the reservoir was still quite warm, so steam actually came out, and I could see it coming out, and I could feel it on my skin. I closed the lid. I then went and got a little Keurig pod from the cupboard to the left. It's a Van Hoot, I think is how they pronounce it, one of my favorites. And I put it in actually I had to click open the lid, and then I put it into the little slot, closed it. I heard a click, and I check it to make sure, because once I didn't and the water sprayed everywhere, I made sure it was sealed. And then I hit brew, and almost immediately I'd hear the gurgling and the ka-chunking and there's steam coming out. And then the coffee came out. It was a nice thin stream of black liquid into the cup. I could smell it. It was so good. I was just craving it. And then I finally picked it up. The cup was warm. I put it to my lips, and it was a perfect, nice cup of coffee. Can you see the difference in the detail there? I offer up the following tips to help the Teach to Talk achieve its goal. Tip number one, don't make it too long and be as engaging as possible. You'll find the witnesses tend to talk more when awake. Tip two, choose an example that doesn't have too many similarities with the episode that is the focus of the interview. You don't want to potentially contaminate the witness's memory by mentioning details that could easily be confused between the Teach to Talk version and the real memory. For example, if the interview was about a witnessed motor vehicle incident, it would be inappropriate to use a Teach to Talk example that involved driving. Tip three, take some time to prepare and practice your spiel a few times. I've tried to wing it and appeared unsure of my own story. Practice allows you to tell the story with confidence. That's all for today, folks.